Good afternoon! Good afternoon! Sorry I'm late. I'll explain. But first of all, my name is Don and this is Rooftop Trombone version 2.0. And we have a special performance for you tonight. World premiere. Actually, everything we've done in the last 7 days has been a world premiere, for what that's worth. Anyway, adjusting the lights because my light technician's not here. Sorry to be a few minutes late. It's 7:08 already. We got a late start because of technical difficulties. I don't know if you've noticed this before, but sometimes Facebook, I'll be polite, sometimes Facebook doesn't work the way you think it's gonna, or the way it did yesterday or the day before. Anyway, we're all good now. We're online. None of you are here yet, but I trust that some of you will watch later. So, tonight I have a very special, I've been doing, as you know, I was going to give you the background first. My name is Don Bowyer. I'm the Dean of the School of Arts at Sunway University, right over there, in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, in Sunway City, which is part of Kuala Lumpur, metropolitan area in Malaysia. And I played out here on my rooftop for 106 days back in March, April, May, and June during our first movement control order and enhanced movement control order and conditional movement control order and all that, and stopped on July 1st. Started again 1 week ago when we started a second wave here in Malaysia, and so we've been 7 days now of being encouraged to work from home in some regions, including Sabah, which is in East Malaysia, and including the state of Selangor, which is the big state that Kuala Lumpur is actually federal territory. It's a fairly small area carved out of Selangor, or I don't know the history, but I'm guessing. But Selangor is the big metropolitan area around Kuala Lumpur. And Putrajaya is another federal area carved out, which is where the government is. So the state of Selangor and the federal territories of Putrajaya and Kuala Lumpur are all on a conditional movement control order now, where everyone is encouraged to work from home. This is day number 7 of that. Tomorrow is day number 8 of that. And then on Thursday, we've just, well, actually, I don't know if it's been officially announced yet, but it's been in the newspapers. We're expecting that Thursday, all office workers are required to work from home. There will be nobody going into work starting Thursday. Fortunately, I work in a university and we are able to work from home. All of our teaching has been online for the last week, and a lot of it was before then, but for the last week we've been teaching online exclusively, and we'll continue that. So that's where we are, that's what we're doing. And I've been playing, in this version 2.0 of Rooftop Trombone, I've been playing reciting poetry and playing trombone to comment on that poetry. I've been showing images and playing trombone to comment on those images. And the best part is, I've been asking you to submit poetry and images that you would like to hear or see as part of tomorrow's show. And I ask you again, please send something. Right now, I have a very special one that is not quite poetry, but it's very poetic. Anyway, my wife wrote a short story, a very short story. It's like 3 minutes long. A very short story for one of our grandchildren, and sent it to me, and we decided that we could do the short story with trombone and see how that goes. So I hope you enjoy this. I should have mentioned, oops, it should be going forward there. There. Donna Lamb, that's the name of my wife. She always yells at me for calling her my wife. She doesn't yell, she never yells. She rolls her eyes. Anyway, Donna Lamb wrote this week. It's brand new. And it's called A Bedtime Story for Carter. And the subtitle, or the name of the story itself, is Dina the Dragon. I hope you enjoy this. I hope I can make some sense of it with the trombone. Once upon a time, in a world filled with pink and red flowers and lots of dragons, Carter and his friend Zach dropped in on a billowy white parachute from outer space. They landed on the back of a giant green turtle. So they stayed there. On hands and knees, they looked around. Carter said, "Don't look." "Why not?" Zach had said. And of course he looked. Right in the middle of the lake, a monstrously large green head poked out of the water. The dragon opened her huge dragon mouth. Pink and red flames exploded all the way across the lake, landing on the turtle's tail, catching it on fire. Carter and Zach looked at the tail. Then they looked at each other. Because they were both brave boys, brave enough to jump out of a parachute, they jumped off the turtle's back. The turtle cried out and wallowed side to side in pain. First, Zach, who was the Boy Scout, looked for a way to haul water from the lake. He tried an acorn cap. That was too small. He tried a tree trunk, but the trunk would not budge from its place among its gnarly roots. Then Zach spotted the perfect tool. Carter's helmet. I didn't read fast enough. Carter's helmet, and they used Carter's helmet, and they raced down to the lake. Actually, they used both helmets. They raced down to the lake with the dragon girl watching their every move. They ignored her. Taking off their helmets, they filled them with water and rushed back to the writhing turtle. The tail was a dark, smoldering mess by the time they poured water out into the turtle, yet the turtle breathed a sigh of release and lumbered into the forest. "What's up, boys?" The dragon batted her long, curly blue eyelashes. Carter and Zach looked at each other. Do we run for it? Carter thought. The dragon picked up the boys one by one and plopped each into her huge, leathery palm. With his arms over his head, Zach said, "We're finished. All right, we're done for." And just then, they heard a rumbling, powerful voice say, "Dina! Time for dinner!" The dragon gave them only one quick glance before tossing them into the tall grass. Dina turned and went home for dinner. The end. Isn't that a terrific story? Thank you so much for being here tonight, and thank you, Donna Lamb, for such a terrific story for Carter. And I've got bugs all around me here all of a sudden. Thank you all so much for being here. I should mention, Don, what do I do if I have a poem or a short story or an image I want you to play trombone with? Well, you send it to me at rooftoptrombone@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. rooftoptrombone@gmail.com. make sure it's family friendly, and that you or someone who has given you permission owns the rights. We're not going to steal intellectual property from other people on this show. Well, not intentionally. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. That's all I have for tonight. Bye-bye.